So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on to reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, we're gonna keep moving on because it's just past 8 o'clock on a Monday night in St. Kitts and Nevis, and time for me to bid you good night, St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to the entire Eastern Caribbean region. I must also greet all my Kittitians and Liburdians in the diaspora in particular, and all who are listening, period. There are some of you on the World Wide Web, all over the world. Some in Africa, some in Asia, some in Europe, some right here in North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I will say good morning, and I can also say good afternoon, because one of such greetings is applicable to the region in which you now find yourself. Family, if you are joining me for the first time, it is important that I inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails. And if you're so mind to call, the numbers are 465-2555 and or 718-577-2916. There's also an email contact, which is zizstraighttalk@gmail.com. If you're joining me for the first time, I must also apprise you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patrick Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation, my Straight Talk family, on yet another occasion. Just remind you, especially the first timers, that Straight Talk is heard every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. And as we are back on tonight's programming, I must first of all extend condolences to some people. I've heard of the passing of former matron Winifred McMahon, and I want to extend our sympathy to her entire family, including her children, Ira McMahon, Winston McMahon, and his brother, other brother, I call him a young Mac. And I do trust that they would remain strong this time of adversity. I heard as well of the sudden passing of Nisi Morton. Nisi, who over the Illes village, resided a long time on Saintford Street, there with my dear brother Buller Mason. And I do want to extend condolences to Buller, his wife Nisi, and to Lisha and Jebob, who recently lost their mother Dorothy. So it must be real painful for the entire family. And just this afternoon, I learned of the passing of Jenny Belgrove, who is the sister of my dear brother Boyblo, Mr. Thomas, Boyblo and Jasmine. And I want to extend condolences as well to her children, Kylene and Romaine Belgrove very well. Extend sympathies to them and to all who are missing or all who are grieving at this moment. We extend condolences on behalf of the Straight Dog family, just to remember or to remind you that death, I should say, is a process. We also still reeling from the Omicron virus, and the latest update as of yesterday, the 16th January, there were 35 cases, positive cases identified, and we trust and hope that we will get this under control. Remember, just last week, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson was here with us on Straight Talk, and I think we all agreed that we will have to live with this virus. But it's looking good nonetheless in terms of our protection, and our vaccination rate is going up and up, which is good. It's just about 82% in terms of the first doses and 76.2% in terms of the second doses as well. So we do have to live with it, but still don't forget the non-pharmaceutical tools which are available to us. Masks, we must wear them, sanitize our hands as often as possible, and where possible as well, keep our distance. If at all we can get 6 to 6 feet, then try to do that. My family, on my very first edition of Straight Talk, just last week, Monday, to be exact, and I do want to wish a happy new year again for those who may be just joining us for the first time for the year. We wish you a happy and healthy new year. But last week, Monday, I think it was last week, Monday, a very well-known Pan-Africanist, Ras Kalundri, raised some very thought-provoking ideas about the division amongst us as a people. I hear the man's ways in which we can overcome the issues that divide us. Ras Kalundri had this to say.
I just want to hear about all the Africans them here at home in the Federation of Lion Megan Oli, and brothers and sisters listening to the diaspora, the whole global African world. As you said, this is 2022, and we have to have a new mantra for 2022. Total togetherness for African people, not only here in the Federation, but globally. You understand? You're either with African people's interests or you're against us. It's as simple as that. There's no in-between anymore.
Well, very tall order. Total togetherness amongst African people, nationally and globally. And you hear that either with us or against us. There is no in-between. And Ras Kalundri's proposition prompted a call from another Pan-Africanist, Ras Nabu, my dear brother, who requested that we have 2 exclusive shows on Pan-Africanism.
Brother, I like you to do 2 shows exclusively on Pan-Africanism. One if it can be done next Monday, as a tribute to the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and one in February, beloved brother. That's all I'm asking. If you want to invite Rascalonji and for and cons for Pan-Africanism, beloved, that got to be done, beloved.
Well, without hesitation, I did in fact yield to Nabo's request to have an exclusive show tonight on Pan-Africanism. But on second thought, I decided to do otherwise, and I must apologize to my brother Nabo and all the Pan-Africanists, because I decided to do otherwise on an occasion like today, a holiday Monday, when in the USA, the birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. is celebrated. Born on January the 15th, 1929, it is observed on the third Monday of January each year. And it's a special day for many, many people, many of us who remember the struggles of Martin Luther King Jr.
If I lived in China or Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
And the last speech before he was assassinated, before he was fatally shot at Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, on April the 4th, 1968, to be exact. Come April, it would mark 54 years since Martin Luther King was assassinated. And I am sure many of you as well remember these words.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
His eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. And before his untimely death, King called on his people to stay together and maintain unity. He admonished them not to fall prey to what the Pharaoh had done during slavery. King reminded his people that Pharaoh kept the slaves fighting among themselves. But when the slaves got together, that was the beginning of getting out of slavery, beginning of emancipation. The promised land that King envisioned was where you did not have to march for your dignity. It was where you did not have to sing for your freedom. The promised land King spoke about was where all of God's children would stand as equals, and the land where there was economic justice for all. Tonight, I have chosen to be more pragmatic, to be more realistic, and I do so because when I think about Pan-Africanism, my mind reflects on the promotion of a political union amongst the indigenous people of African descent, or perhaps I should say all the indigenous inhabitants of Africa. It is a worldwide movement that aims to encourage and strengthen bonds of solidarity between all indigenous and diaspora ethnic groups, I should say, of African descent. Very important, my straight talk family. Pan-Africanism posits a sense of shared historical faith for Africans in America, the Caribbean, and on the continent itself, centered on the Atlantic slave trade, African slavery, and European imperialism. It is based on the belief that unity is vital to economic, social, and political progress, and aims to unify and uplift people of African descent. As I was putting some thoughts together for tonight, my mind reflected on the old proverb, which I'm sure we are all familiar with, that is, charity begins at home. My understanding of this old saying is that we should first focus on those who are closest to us, and then we can go out and help others. The word charity has its roots in Latin. The Latin word caritas means love. In my view, it emphasizes the fact that to help others and to make our society a better place in which to live, we must first work on ourselves before we can satisfy the needs of those who are closest to us. So let's be realistic. But Africanism, as I said before, supports the principle of political union, or a political union of all native people of Africa. So what about a union, political and or otherwise, amongst the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Over 8 years ago, the electorate decided that it wanted a government of national unity, and that led to the union of 3 political parties that eventually formed a team unity government in 2015. The leaders of PLP, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, the leader then of CCM, the Honorable Vance Winkworth Amory, and the leader of PAM, the Honorable Sean Richards, all agreed to work together in unity. But 7 years after 2015, and as we continue on our journey in this new year, And as we fight against the dreadful coronavirus-induced pandemic, St. Kitts Nevis is divided. Truth be told, additionally, I am seeing and hearing many distractions as some persons seem comfortable in spreading lies with the ultimate goal of grabbing headlines and portraying the Team Unity government in a negative or in a bad light. Now mark you, and truth be also told, as your host on Straight Talk, I believe that everyone has a right to say things, even though some of you may not like what is said. But as long as it is not libelous or defamatory, then on this program, everyone is guaranteed their fundamental rights that are protected by our Constitution. One such right that is zealously guarded, zealously protected on Straight Talk is freedom of expression. About 10 years ago, I took a long, hard look at St. Kitts and Nevis. And I concluded that this was not my country. Furthermore, this was not the government I argued, campaigned, and sang for in 1995. They even tried to ridicule me before the 2015 elections. And I remember this. And every time I remember it, I laugh.
Any government change in 1995. He went up on the stage in East Bastille when Asim was being introduced. And he sang a song. What the song was again? Can't remember what the song was. Yes, Jesus loved me. And it going on, Jesus loved me. And when we done win, because he sing a song, he say he want a big job. Yeah. He want a big job to sing a song. Oh, how Jesus loved me. But Jesus love all of us.
Jesus still loves all of us, my Straight Dog family. But after taking a long, hard look at my country in 2015, I answered a higher call to service and sacrifice my family, my profession, my future, and even my own life when I ran for elective politics. I ran on a simple theme: you know me and I know you. It was not only simple, but it was also laced with honesty and truth. I ran on a PAM ticket in Unity and won the seat in East Bastille, a seat that PAM could not win after 22 years in the political wilderness. Yes, after 5 successive election defeats. And I don't say so, or I don't say this to ridicule the leadership and supporters of PAM, but I have to speak the truth. I am not saying this to ridicule anybody, but I have to state the facts for the record. I went into government as Minister of Public Infrastructure, Urban Development and Transport and Post. The people of St. Kitts have said that I was the best and most productive minister ever elected since adult suffrage in the 1950s. And the people have not said that just because they love patches. The records of my performance are there. The records will state that yes, I got 1 term but I finished most of the projects I promised to deliver. The storm drains in East Bastille, Pond Road, George Street. How many of us recall used to be like a river when a little drop of rain fell? The sidewalks, I should say, on Factory Road, Bird Rock, by the Seventh-day Adventist School, in fact, right around the country. I came back the other day, I was appalled. They dug up the Bird Rock sidewalk. That's for another program. In the face of sabotage, I completed 24 of the 60 homes I promised to build on Wellington Road and West Street. I resurfaced the entire Island Main Road. I reconfigured and rebuilt Old Road Bay. I built a brand new East Bus Line terminal that some inside and outside the government are trying to sabotage. I built a new West Bus Line terminal. I discussed plans to build a St. Peter's bus terminal. I built a brand new ferry terminal with air condition, television, and free Wi-Fi. I built a brand new second cruise pier. It warms my heart when I see the 4 ships at Port Zante. How could I forget the traffic lights in Bastille? I finished phase 1. And if it was not for the COVID pandemic, phase 2 would have been completed because the equipment and materials arrived in 2019. What is happening there? It's another topic to be discussed. So for those of you who continue, wherever I go, you come, I could understand why. But let me reassure you that I am not going anywhere without you. I can tell you further, I am not going anywhere because I have left behind some unfinished tasks. Yes, you may be wondering what happened to Patches tonight. Well, on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a friend of mine called me. I reflected on a song Lord Cut wrote entitled Only in St. Christopher. How is my family, Lord Cut? I hope you have recovered fully now. My friend made me think about the lyrics of that song. And he asked me, what is going on in St. Kitts and Nevis? He said that when he listened to some of the things that have been said on talk radio or written on social media, he's alarmed. I said to him, man, lies and propaganda will be the order of the day. And this, I agree, is not the St. Kitts Nevis I know. I said to him, man, democracy and freedom of speech is alive and well in our country. Because I even referred to him to a protest this morning by the workers of parks and beaches. I was pleased to see unity.
This is Mr. Nisbet's country and this is all of us country. We are calling on the Prime Minister for our knees this morning. I need you. I want you. I need you. I need you. You and the minister responsible for us. We do need you. We need you.
I understand that Bill Nisbet has gone on vacation. Mark you, I don't know all the facts, but I can tell you from what has transpired, the health of our democracy in St. Kitts is well. There are some issues as well with our ambassadors, our tourism ambassadors, I call them, the taxi drivers. Some have called me. I am speaking with them so we can find a resolution to some of the problems. The issue of solicitation has reared its ugly head again. Remember, that matter went to court and the ambassadors of tourism, the taxi drivers, from what I recall, they won. But I want to say, nonetheless, as I wind down and give you your turn to have your say. But when I started in talk radio, the first thing I implored you to do is to talk the truth, but be prepared to stand alone. 10 years after Straight Talk continues to push the truth to anyone and everyone in the way. I'm afraid, though, my family, social media continues to distort the truth and has ushered in a new era when everyone has their own facts. I do not like what I'm seeing and I'm hearing. It is frightening because none of us are safe or protected from the damage that will be caused to our beloved land. The propaganda and spreading of falsity have serious implications for our democracy, for our economy, for our businesses, and more so for our national security. And I expect there will be opposition, because as long as our politics is still based on a broken Westminster system, which lies at the root of all of these problems we see in politics today, from a lack of trust in our institutions to the polarization which inhibits, nearly paralyzing policy making. The Westminster system leads to deeply oppositional and two-dimensional politics. As Kalonji said, either with me or you're against me. That's why Brian told me that many, many moons ago. There's no non-alignment. You're either with me or you're against me. But this two-dimensional politics have prevented our leaders from even speaking to each other in a time of crisis with COVID-19, let alone working together to find a compromise. It is a culture that emphasizes and prioritizes overpowering the other side. A culture that lacks the basic decision-making tools of cooperation, never mind negotiation. The rules of the game are to win, even if only by a single vote. And to do so by employing whatever means necessary, whatever tactics are expedient. But we must be honest, and being honest is about making sure the people you communicate with have the information they need to make good decisions, to take the right way to correct themselves. I implore you to call a spade a spade. Let us strive for social and economic togetherness. Can we get social and economic cohesion? Are we in a good place? I ask the question, can we unite as one? COVID-19, instead of uniting us, it has divided us. But my Straight Dog family, like Martin Luther King, I have seen the promised land.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. In those, Prime Minister Mary Motley has gone back to the people because she said they are too, meaning in Barbados, they are too divided. But I submit, as long as we have this Westminster style of politics, we will always be divided. Expect nothing but division from the opposition. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. It's 19 before the 9 o'clock hour. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. Remember again, numbers are 52555 and or 718-577-2916. I always implore you to respect others, and of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure that the things that we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines at 18 before 9. Caller, welcome. You are live. You are live. You are live. Yes, caller.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Enzing. God bless the evening, my beloved African brother. How are you? And in the spirit of the great Dr. Martin Luther King, one of our greatest liberator.
I am peaceful, my brother. Greetings.
Yes, sir.
And
no, brother, I hear all your remarks and everything. But, brother, let me tell you this, right? Which I totally agree with you. That everything, where we reside, beloved brother, we must build the foundation there and spread out. So in Liamiga and Owali, that's where we start the foundation and extend it globally, beloved brothers, especially to the African continent, not the continent of Africa. We must do that, beloved. I have no problem with that dance yard before you dance abroad. But you know, beloved brother, the foundation from where we came from, or come from, is in Africa, but we must, as African peoples, start that foundation where we were born and still live, or where we live, brother. We must build that foundation wherever we live, beloved, and then we spread it out globally. No problem with that, beloved brother. You was right on target with that. But you see, brother, and the next thing, like you rightly said too, beloved, this Westminster Because it's not minister, it's minister system of government, beloved brother. They're just a neo-colonialist thinking. We got to get rid of that, beloved. Do something that in the best interest of us as African people. Why not have proportional? If a certain political party gets at least 25% or even less, beloved, why can't make that political party? Not like what we have now, you know, a total joke, sir. Say 10%, 5%, 25% at the ministries, beloved. And everybody, right-thinking people, African people, will be satisfied. But when one person, beloved, and this arrangement with the Prime Minister got, you know, like he's the eyes, where he's monarch of all he surveys. Got to done with that, beloved brother. Can't continue with that. The former government, beloved. And our people, man, economic. But we used to feed ourselves when I was growing up and before my time. They always had food. From our cultivation, the ancestors' cultivation, the elders at that time. Cultivation. He had the seed here. Cause my grandfather, my maternal grandfather was a fisherman. David was one of the outside. I don't know if he was between David, Sunny Point and Newtown. But, you know, it's something David had the edge. Beloved, all of that. Where we are now, man. Come on. In every community, we had our people owning shops. Beloved, look at what we own now. Look at Newtown. When I was growing up, I had about 3 or 4 people, shopkeepers who used to bake bread. All time he had what? Frank Francis, Pappy Finn. And in Station Street, he had at least about 4 shops. Main Street, about 3 or so. Down Chapel Street, I think he had about 2. But what we have now, and you know how Newtown was, man. You know how Bastia was. But we as African people, we just retrogress when it comes to business and other people benefit that what our ancestors shed blood, sweat, and tears and pay the ultimate prices. Our African blood is in those lands forever, beloved. And we must be the major beneficiaries, beloved brother, of those lands where our ancestors died for. And nobody gonna come and get more than us. And those lands must be in our hands forever, beloved. But outside that, first we need unity. Unity and love for each other. And I always say, and we must, the traitors in the African race are persona non grata. I mean, they are not welcome. We must keep them out, man, beloved brother. So in order for us to go forward, beloved, and make this span even before our times, in the 1800s, being there, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and people before him, beloved. Look at now. No, man, we need a revival of Pan-Africanism globally, my beloved brother. We need that, and we need that now, and we must inculcate it in our children from a very, very early age, brother. And I have said a lot. So I give someone else, you know, chance to speak. But thank you. You saying something, bro?
Yeah, you said a lot, but I want to thank you before you hang up. for really that correction, because we always say Westminster, but it's Westminster. You are so correct.
Yes, beloved. Oh, beloved, before I go, today I made a statement, right? Concerning Haiti. I think they wronged it. Haiti achieved its independence on January 1st, 1804. I said 1802. So my beloved sisters and brothers, it's January 1st, 1804, after defeating Napoleon and the French army. So, brother, again, I want to thank you too. And brother, let me tell you in closing, beloved, you know I was the first person on here to tell you, brother Patches, you're going to run, and I know you're going to win. And let me say, no, beloved brother. Brother, I don't know what's in your mind, but St. Kitts Nevis need you more than ever. The job is not complete, brother Patches. You want 5 more years to do that. And brother, whatever I can do to make you accomplish that, I will, beloved. Thanks again for hearing me. Keep up the great works. Pan-Africanism our perish. One love, my beloved brother.
One love, my brother. I'm humble. It's 10 before the 9 o'clock hour. I go straight back to the Lion's Caller. You're live. Thank you for holding.
Good evening, Honorable Patches Liburd, and Happy New Year to you. Now, what I want
Happy
to
New Year, my brother.
Yeah,
The people's king.
What I want to tell you, in St. Kitts, the radio disturbing.
You have a radio on, King?
Sorry. In St. Kitts, right? We've achieved what we had to achieve from the Buckley's riot. And that was long before my good friend Dr. Martin Luther King. Right? You got one sun crab right now with the sun crab color trying to throw something in the ring. You know what the problem here, Patches? You had 3 parties get together and form a unity government. But because some got more than some, they figure they'll rule the country. And that is what causing the problem. And again, they're putting people who in place to do work, to in charge of people, and they do what they like. Nobody elect them. Nobody elect them. But they want to turn people and twist people like, well, there's little children. And St. Kitts is rising up again. But this time it's black on black. Because they are treating black people like the stupid, the foolish, and the momo. You all put people in position what they should really not get. But just because I was a labor and now I come a unity, I must suffer. You understand me? But when I went to the poll and vote for you, I vote for you as a palm with a unity ticket as a thing. But now everybody want to treat people like, well, you is a labor and now you're going to another labor, so I'm going to deal with you. This thing got to stop. Patches, bloodshed going to happen here in St. Kitts, you know. And it's going to happen seriously. It's going to happen seriously. You understand? But I am not blaming the Prime Minister for nothing. And I think the Prime Minister should... Right. What the Prime Minister needs to do, stay out the confusion. Let the police do the work. And when the chips fall. Don't dismiss nobody and nothing. Don't ask nobody to step down and stand down and nothing. Pam got their own party. They want the leaders and things who in charge ask who they want to step down. And it's the same thing for CCM. You understand me?
the Prime Minister have a party, PLP. Let he deal with that. Not deal with other party business because they are part of unity. No, I don't think he should get himself involved in that. I agree, he's the Prime Minister of the country. When the police report come in and when the chips drop, he drop. But otherwise than that, I don't think he should get involved in it because they're more than him. They claim they have 4 and he only got 2. But only show you how smart some of them is, you know. They had 5 and they never even said no, they had 5. Right? And they, just because a few closeness to the Prime Minister, they figure you go walk over on the Prime Minister behalf and they get rid of you. But Patches, God don't sleep. He do not sleep. You know, what they're doing to people, they need to stop. And it's a strong warning. Because they just put on a new roof on the jail, you know. So the water can't let nobody in there now. So let her go ahead and mess around with people. You understand me? Let her go ahead and mess around with people. Nobody elect them. They just get a job. And they don't want to work with nobody. You understand me? And it's the same thing up in the park and all that. They got man in government to work. Big government to work. Still got such forms doing this and doing that. And all kind of thing, thinking them alone. Because they got 4 in there, they should collect everything. But they forget that election ain't finished yet. You understand me? So Patrick, you have a good night. And if you could talk to the Prime Minister, just tell him stay out of the confusion. Okay.
Okay. That's you very well. It's 4 before the 9 o'clock hour. I know we have a lot to say. Let's keep our eyes on the time. Let's try to make the points within at least 2 minutes. I'll be reasonable if you go over that. Caller, thank you for holding your line.
Good night, Patches.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, this is Mr. Politics here, as usual. My voice is so good.
Politics, your voice sounds different.
First, Patches, I want to commend the park and beach workers. I think that they show where real democracy is. Since last year, those guys complaining to me about some guy over them, putting them in different places to work. Some of them are off government duty, getting money, and ain't giving them the money. They complain to me all in the cemetery. They work in the cemetery. To put them to work all the weekend. Sometimes they work, go up there Sunday time they work. He said they're going to pay, and they ain't going to pay. So I want to commend them. And I was interacting with a few of them today in the crowd after the protest they had. And they tell me that it ain't nothing about politics. So don't go on the radio and say it's politics. It ain't nothing about politics. They say is the injustice where this guy is doing them and Moses is with some of the workers them, especially the women them. And that is bad. And I believe that should not reach so far, Patches. I believe this complaining they take into the ministry all the time about this. Somebody should have done look into it. It ain't sounding good. It ain't looking good. And that only start. Because these fellows work and you know they do different work. They say they work weekends. He'll tell them places to work. He gets money and he wants to pay them. And all these things just to try to bring down the government. And Patches, before go, I want the Prime Minister to be strong. Because we say unity and the lie and deceitfulness where I hear pulling around, especially in the panic station, every day the Prime Minister name calling up with a digital idea. But I just want the Prime Minister to be strong. Don't take the man because they're looking confrontation. We say something. Because up to today, somebody called me, tell me that Pam must have some kind of church yesterday. The 58 and he votes 57 and he votes 3. I took it honest. is the People Action Movement. And some girl, they said the Prime Minister must get a house, and she went to the thing. And this man, to the panel, just banging him out, to the Prime Minister Wex, you know? People they have nothing to offer, but just to bring on the country because they have nothing, and they need nothing, and they just don't be people, and they try to mislead the people who are the time. Because they only about what they could politically get. He ain't getting where he used to get when the Prime Minister was in. So he wants to say things to Dr. Harris to notice him. You understand? But if I get back, because say so good. I want to wish the Prime Minister the best and to be strong. He got people like me and culture and rock and others behind him. But if we ain't going to get up, we say unity. And if they want it, we know where to go. Okay, then, Patches.
Thank you very much. To the point and very assertive as we go back to the lines at the top of the hour. It's 9 o'clock. Caller, you are live.
Patches, good night. Patches, good night.
Good night, my brother.
Now, I am going to tell you something here, Mr. Patches. Now, I am reading from Isaiah 43. A lot of people do not know who God be. What happened in 2015 is God. What happened in 2020 is God. And here, this. Here are my witnesses, said the Lord. My servant whom I have chosen, that he may know and believe me and understand that I am before. And there is no God formed, neither there shall be any after me. I am even the Lord. I am even and the Lord. Beside me, there is no Savior. Mr. Patches, a lot of people don't understand that is God put unity in power. Nobody could go in power unless God put them up. And listen, I don't understand, and I'm sorry to say it now. Too much of propaganda. When God sees too much, you know what to do. And that's the reason why we don't call into straight talk, to talk nonsense story, you know. Because I am fear of God. So listen, Mr. Patches. I am telling you that what's happening presently now, God is going to intervene. And somebody is going to bear the grunt. Now, I am telling you, I am finishing now. People must understand that God wakes you up at morning time, put you on your way. But people that got nothing in the heart of God, they request the person who God put in office. It ain't going to be so. And I am, Miss Patrick, I can tell you something before I have the radio. you talking about analysis and they're not got the fear of God in the heart, you know. So me, from the time you bring on from the time you bring on the show, I'm gonna lock it up. I'm gonna tell you goodbye for the week, for the day. I am not gonna hear nothing about that day. Me don't want to hear nothing what is not of God. If it's not of God, I don't want to hear it. Straight talk is for straight things. And so Patrick, have a pleasant night, and I see you next week. To the month, see you Thursday by the grace of God. Thank you.
Thank you, my straight dog family. This email reads: every time Mrs. Henry called into the various talk show program with her knowledge and vast experience calculated to educate and apprise the Federation of the truth of her experience, whether in politics, education, economics, etc., one McMahon will call immediately after to debunk and ridicule her with his lies and falsehoods. I want to say to Mr. McMahon, why just leave Mrs. Henry? She's a brain and you are a coon. We thank her for the enlightenment she continues to share with us. God bless. And as that, my brother, the Bible man said, the social media continues to distort the truth and has ushered in a new era when everyone seems to believe that they have their own facts. Thank you for holding, caller. You are live at 9:06.
Good evening, Patrick.
Good evening, sir.
How are you doing, brother?
Mr. Culture,
yes.
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm peaceful, too, brother. I'm peaceful. I'm so glad that you were not up there by that volcano that blew up in the sea. Because me and you would have gone. You remember I tell you, anywhere you go, I'm following you, okay?
That is so true.
Right. Well, I agree with everything what Rock said. And some of the things that I understand from Nabu, I agree with him. And also I agree with Mr. Politics. But Brother John James, I'm going to tell you this. Don't tune in your radio to trash and garbage. But if you happen to hear them and you don't have control over your radio, you can't help. Because Christ come to save the sinners, not those who are saved, right? So remember that, Brother John James. Now, Brother Patches, Politics talk about that demonstration today. Those people working for parks and beaches. And I am so agree with Politics. Because I have been saying over the years that the government have too many square plugs in round hole and the water and the air is leaking out. But they're not listening to me. Now you see what happened today with the parks and beaches? That is a square peg. The government having a round hole there, taking advantage of people for the blood, sweat and tears, labor. Nobody is supposed to do that. The Bible warned against that. Well, that's a precedent been set since 2006, when the sugar industry was closed, and all who work in the sugar industry of the factory and in the care field, they was never paid of their rightful own money, what they work for. And so that was a precedent set for them, and they continue doing it. So are you going to tell me people work in a care field so hard in the sugar factory, 44 million was borrowed to pay the workers them. Pay them. 28 was paid. Where the other 16 gone? Where you gone? I know where you gone, but I was just saying another time. And so that they trickle down all right now. And a lot of them who they take, according to Rock, they pick them up and put them in high position and taking advantage of the roots, the people of the roots who help to put the government there. And is fertilizing the root of the government to keep the government afloat.
and them they now get a job, a big position, which they don't deserve, and taking advantage of poor people. Years ago, I talk about a lot of them in position and asking, putting question to women for sex, and tell them they don't have to go and work. Just give them a piece of the thing. What thing? And I keep on telling people, never mess with your supervisor on your job. Put them in a place that's not supposed to be. And this is what's happening. And it is happening in a lot of government departments. You got people working for the government out on sick leave. Nearly a year. And every time one sick leave up, they go to a different doctor, get his signature, and go to another thing and prolong it. And I talk about that. That is happening in Ministry of Health. In the Ministry of Health. And you got people in the Ministry of Health. It's big labor. You have a right to be where you want to be. But you don't sabotage in the government with your work. But they're listening to me. Patches, a normal and long time. I'll come back with me second 2 minutes, please. No more than 2 minutes. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, my brother. It is so shameful and embarrassing, reads this email, that so many people have discovered that the owner, manager, or of a radio station is just a mirror of deceitfulness and hypocrisy, which was quite obvious last Friday afternoon. The man always has so many negative things to say, especially about the vaccine, and have the temerity to challenge qualified medical personnel on what they have said contrary to what he thinks. But I was very pleased when the good doctor stopped him in his tracks and had the courage to denounce his misguided and misconceived narratives that he was falsely peddling on radio. No, Junie, you are wrong. What you are saying is fake news. Thank you, doctor, for your objectivity, frankness, and mindedness. I don't always agree with the doctor, but I heard that myself, and that is so true. Caller, thank you for holding your live at 9/11.
Hello?
Yes, caller?
Good evening.
You're live. Good evening, my dear.
My problem is, good evening, Happy New Year. I'm calling in because there's a lot of stealing going on up at custom when people send barrels. And I sent several barrels to St. Kitts for the Christmas. And when I get them, a lot of things was missing. So who do I go and complain to?
Well, you should at least first go to the agents of the vessel.
Okay. I go to the agent, to the vessel, and he said I have to go someplace. I went up by the port and I fill a form about things I'm missing. And I haven't get a reply or answer yet from no one.
That's a claim form?
Excuse me?
That's a claim form.
Okay, yes, I did. Yes, a claim form.
And you submitted it to whom?
I guess I put it to, I fill it out, whatever need, I fill it out and I give it to them, then get back to me. And I left and come back to New York and haven't get, I left email, I left everything with them. Because a lot of things are missing. I send home a lot of food for my family. They take all the tin stuff. I send home a tile cutter. They take that. They take so many things from me. I'm afraid to send anything now because there's nothing being done about it. And that's fair.
But what did the agents of the vessel say to you?
What they said to me?
Yeah, the agents.
The agent just said that he's going to look into it, and I said, okay. And he told me to go to the port. I went to the port and I filled the form, and she said she put in the claim in, and I'm going to hear from them. And that was it.
You care to say who are the agents?
If I did the what?
You care to say who are the agents of the vessel?
I forget the name, but I forget the name of it. I have to go look at my email. I forget the name. I could call back and give you the name.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not fair because,
Well, we
in
trust
America, you
that
work
they
hard
will.
for what you have. Try your best to, to send stuff home, and then when you get your barrels, it's unopened, it's open already, and they have a sticker, and half these things is missing.
Well, we've heard that complaint, and I trust you'll have word back from the agency.
Okay, but I need to know. I need to get down to this thing because it's not fair that you send stuff home. Just stealing it. I mean, up here it's cold, it's winter. You work hard and you try to scrape some money to send stuff home to your family, and then when you get home, your family don't even get it to enjoy it. Somebody's enjoying it. So that's my complaint. I'm gonna look for the email and get the name and call you back.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
And this is Dennis Patrick from Newtown.
I thought I recognized the voice.
How you doing?
I hope you're
doing?
well. I am peaceful. I'm peaceful. Good to hear you.
I'll get back to you the name. You have a good night.
Have a good night as well. I in fact spoke to the seaport manager, and he did explain to me the process. I did make note of it. I did in fact say that their body cams, the officers, when they're searching these barrels, they gave a rationale for opening the barrels in the absence of the consignee. And that again is something, I'll look up my notes and see what I have. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, we thank you for holding your life.
Mr. Ian Patches Liburd, greetings to you, brother.
Greetings, my brother.
I wish you the best. You're on your program, a health program, and I pray you continue educating the nation and the world with your topics. We got to remember, humanity by nature is gifted to think freely. But in order that this free thought should lead him to the goal of liberty and independence, his way of thinking must be shaped by the process of education. Mr. Patches?
Sound words.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Patches, charity begins at home. And you outline a very positive platform tonight concerning Pan-Africanism, Martin Luther King, and we talk about social economic unity. But you stem it very well to start it, charity begins at home. And it's so true. Mr. Patches, we are living in spiritual times. You may hear some person say, blame the Westminster system, or we should get a different system, etc., etc. But life is either right or wrong. Whatever system mankind put himself within, you got to look for the right way or the wrong way. Because we live in spiritual times, and if you say you're praising God, you got to think about doing what is right. Because he's walking in the ways of the Spirit or living in the way of the flesh. And the Bible outlines on both of those. What is the ways of the Spirit? What is the way of the flesh? And many of us today live in the world of the flesh. We know that. And many of us do not want to burn ourselves from the way of the flesh. We want to continue. Mr. Patrick Hall, you mentioned some history concerning Pam and regaining of the seat which was yours. And you're not trying to point no finger. That's the history. Remember, your motto for the year is about truth. And talking about truth, one has to be consistent. You know, the people say they want to change in the politics. They say they want unity. It's the people. We always say the people is the voice. So, who now trying to derail that process? Because if you want to tell the people, if I as an individual party, if my party, I could do better than a unity government. How could anyone do better than a unity government when that's the way Christ wants his people to live? You got to find yourself mature enough to find that wave of degree to live in unity, because it's your people prescribes that medicine. So you got to throw away your party ways and remember, put the agenda. What's better? You want to say you're better in your party with a motto, a safer, brighter future. So what you would do for your country with your party, you cannot do that with a unity structure. Come on. That's a lot of elitist image. And that is what's popping up in this country. We're still seeing people who you feel got such academic education but want to push this elitist image as only them must make money out of St. Kitts. Only them must make money out of St. Kitts. The ordinary person. They shouldn't set up no platform for the ordinary people to see themselves maturing and making the same money. Mr. Patrick, when Pam NRP was in office and the development of Port Zante was being undertaken, I, as a citizen, expected a Pam NRP government to put a cultural shopping center, rent the building, buy the building on behalf of the people. Don't tell me about the government own nothing. Anyway, you think it's the government own. Get a vendor's mall down at Port Zante. I was looking for a vendor's mall out there on Port Zante for the people rent the spaces. When the tourists come off, they see black faces doing business. Many of them just say, oh, we ain't got nothing to export. All we have is us. We shut down under Corona and we survive. So who survives is us. That means we have things in us that we could export. And that's one of the weakness I'm seeing at the tourism minister. Under this Corona, he still need to come with a more creative pathway for the development of tourism. And if he cannot come with an export market for his people, he got a problem. The other one has a problem too. The infrastructure minister. He have to know he take over that ministry with development. So he now have, I would like to see him rebuild public works. Put public work is so modern that more times in the future, any major public infrastructure would changes. Public works is there to do it. We have so much engineers, so prepare public works in a more modern way so that out the persons coming to school, they wouldn't even fear to tell themselves they're going to get a job at public works because you have it in such a modern way that you can attract the people. It's about reform, Mr. Patches. We shouldn't be hearing a problem about a PAM nothing. You're part of a government. Work and think like you're part of a government. Don't believe that you're bigger than the country because people had a chance to elect a PAM candidate as a prime minister. But the constitution works so well. Look, we have a prime minister, but he have less seats. But the government is legal. That's how the constitution works. So when we're saying we want this Westminster, this system, and that means, look, we have a unity structure. It's about doing what is right for the people. That's all. Ain't an ism. And the social media coverage. Mr. Pratt, on the corona, we shouldn't get division on the corona. We should feel ourselves more united because corona helping you to create ideas about development for your people. When we shut down, the tourism minister should be thinking, working with the agriculture minister to create an export industry for the people. Nevis just do all kind of thing with mango. What I mean, we can't not on the shelf in other countries. Same from St. Kitts. We used to export sugar, but it was a time and a season for that. So not because we ain't on a little thing going there, a time and a season for everything. So when it's mango season coming up, we don't let the people know, listen, mango season come, we're going to export. Box of mango instantly. Mr. Patches, you continue to be strong. This country have a lot for its people, but the politicians, them, they can't believe that they're bigger than the people. They got done with them nonsense. Tam ain't bigger than the people. Nobody want back no more party, nothing. Otherwise, it will happen. But a lot of these guys who say they're educated, they always want to put this party elitist business as the ordinary people in Ghana say. The ordinary people is about unity. That's why Christ loved his ordinary people. Mr. Patrick, you continue to be strong and continue to stay healthy. God bless.
Well, I can sit back each time I hear you and listen to your interviews all night. You know, because you come from a position that's so profound, so factual, and you're so correct. You know, no one can do better than unity. And you said it clearly that the unity did not come from a party. It came from the people. For some people, and I like what you analyze in terms of the spiritual times, right versus wrong. Because what is said is either right or wrong. What is done is either right or wrong. But some people want wrong to be right and right to be wrong. And again, the Prime Minister is the first amongst equals. You spoke about tourism. COVID hit us. The whole world shut down. The industry shut down. Or what? We come back to the same old tourism. And something has to be done. Caller, I want to thank you for holding. You're live at 9:26.
Hi. Good evening, Patches.
Hello. Good evening, my dear.
Happy New Year to you. Getting late
Same
now,
to you
but Happy
as
New
well.
Year to talk to you. This is Rosie calling from Miami, and I
Rosie,
wasn't because I had enough. But I sent a barrel from my daughter in December. I posted the 7th. It got to St. Kitts on the 14th. They didn't call her until almost the 14th of January. And when she got the thing, so much things was missing. So much things were missing. I bought some things for people who gave me their money, and it was so embarrassing. The things that was not there. And it's very, very, very hard, Patrice. I got 2 knees here. The 2 buckle foot them. With this coldness over here, not like your coldness over there, but you know me really accustomed to coldness. Nothing hurt him like my knees them. I had to take the day off to go up the port to post my stuff, spend so much money to post them. And when they were just saying so much things was missing, I can't afford to be doing that right now on a job now. I came in from 7 tonight, and I ain't gonna leave until 7 tomorrow morning. Down in somebody's tree all night. Because as a nursing aide, you cannot go to sleep. You should be up, and you can't be in a bedroom and somebody said you're in a chair sitting down all night watching TV, reading or something. You're not even supposed to be on your phone. And it's hard. I am not sending back nothing home again until something is remedied, because who you could really go to, who you could talk to and get back your stuff. I can't work and have people taking my stuff because I'm not a young person or I'm up there now. And I'm trying to work still to get what I want and to do what I want. But if I can send something home and when them up the port choose to take it and whatever, I can't be doing that. I cannot be doing that. Until they start opening luggage again in front of people, let people come, send for them and call them and let them come up there and open it in front of them, I don't have anything else to send. I'm done. But and I don't know why you step on the 14th of December till she get it almost the 14th of January. Because I was saying that, okay, I took the time off from work saying that I wanted to get there because they say if I didn't come that day, the Tuesday, so to get it again until after Christmas. I took a whole day off from work, went to post it, that she could get it, and it stayed almost a whole month up there. I don't understand what is going on up there with the people and that kind of thing. I'm done. Anyway, you have a nice night, and I enjoy listening to you, and you continue doing what you're doing, and stay blessed, and stay calm. Bye.
Be good to yourself, my Newton warrior, and I understand, I can hear it in your voice. In terms of how I know it works, all the cargo is consigned to the agent, whether it is Hobson's Enterprises, Delil, Walwyn, Hospers, call them all. And they have a responsibility to inform the consignees, the cargo to whom it is addressed, the person to whom the cargo is addressed. Right? But 50 million Frenchmen is a song that goes, it can't be wrong. And if everybody is crying out, then something ought to be done. That is my humble view. I tried reaching out to the controller, who is a good man, never got to him, but I think that something had to be done. We have to find a way. We have to find a solution, and that is not a problem that cannot be solved. It's 9:30. To the bottom of the hour, I go back to the Lions caller. Thank you for holding your line.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Liburd. I know how you doing. Good evening, Mr. Liburd. I know how you doing, Mr. Liburd.
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. I hope it's not too late to wish you a happy New Year.
Not at all.
Okay.
I wish you the same.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wish my party, that is the People's Action Movement, who will be celebrating their 57th anniversary on Wednesday, which is ably led by Mr. Sean Richards, and I would like to wish them all the best. Have a good night, Mr. Liburd, and get home safely.
Thank you very much, and we share those congratulations to the People's Action Movement celebrating on Wednesday the 19th, 57 years as a political party. Let's just go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Again.
You're live.
Again.
My brother.
I call back to right? I want to tell the gentleman who called my name that I do not call into no radio station but straight talk. And I do not know what the reason why. I am a born-again believer. I am a man of God, and when I do things, I know what God say. If you do not care what you do. If you don't repent of your sins, one of these days you have to get a God account with. So not care what you do over radio station and talk and people give you things to say. If you don't repent, hell is going to be your portion. But I am talking, I never calling on Freedom FM yet, never yet. And the only station that I call is Straight Talk. And when I say I speak from the Bible, but I am saying tonight, that man, he always come to where he get at me. I do not know why. But I have nothing against nobody. And I am saying people must understand. And that means saying all the time, people must understand that is God put the unity government there. And God put the Prime Minister there. And that's all I've been saying. Me know what they say. And I'm going to say it broad and heavy. If you don't repent, hell is going to be your portion. The Bible says we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And he says we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And so Jesus come to save. And I want to tell that man that I know he has come to call the righteous, but sinners unto repentance. He said again, he sent the rain and the just and the unjust. And he's been telling you, he set before life and death. He tell the truth life. And he got a time when he come to judge the world. And if you don't repent, hell is going to be your portion. Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bible Man. Let's just go straight back to the lines. Caller, you are live. You are live.
Hello, Patrick. Hello.
Yes, you're live. Yes, you're live.
Good night. I'm calling concerning the barrels. I'm a greedy lady that's talking about the barrels. I came down and I took pictures of my barrel. The state how they had the barrel, like when they take up the things and show them to canneries. People had to work hard for the things them. People take pictures of the barrels them, let us see. Because when it's cold, they don't understand how it's cold, it be bitter. And when you have to work and send your things them down here and send them to St. Kitts, and when you come, the way how they handle them, they steal them, and the way how they throw them back in the barrel like garbage heap. I have pictures. I took pictures because I called already about these barrels. When they take out the things about the barrel, they don't have the patience to put them back in. And they throw them in. I have pictures again. People take pictures of your barrel because they don't understand. They're talking about they have camera. Please, for God's sake. How come it wasn't happening all the time? And all of a sudden now they're happening. I am not going to stop sending my barrel now because somebody going to pay for something. Somebody going to pay for something. I see the port and can't go up the port. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I feel your pain. Again, I strongly submit that there has to be a solution that can please all. The customs, the port, and in fact, the consignees, the people who work hard for the barrel, the contents of the barrel. Caller, you're live.
Patrice, a pleasant good evening, Marsha. Good evening.
Good evening, Marsha.
How are you tonight, my
Happy New Year. I am peaceful.
Oh,
I'm peaceful because you?
Anyhow, Patrice, we had a good church service on Sunday, the PLP, People's Labour Party. We had a big turnout on Sunday. We had people from all walks of life. We had Spanish, we had French, we had Dutch, we had people, English, all kind of people. But anyhow, what I call this is Patrice tonight, my contribution. As I always said, that my Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris, is doing a tremendous job. And so far, you know what amazed me? Patrice, when he paid the double salary. And if he never paid that double salary, a lot of us in St. Kitts would never have a good Christmas. Gratitude is a must. And St. Kitts people need to give gratitude to him. And I want to place this on record too, that Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris is the best Prime Minister that ever touched down in St. Kitts and Nevis. He is the best. Class is class. This man have a good heart. Clean heart. Clean hands. Love poor people. Looked after his people. I cannot wait on sometime next week, around the 28th, the 29th, day off, for those houses to be given out in mansion area. And all these houses are quality houses, better than the rest. Patches, look at the brand new Sandy Point police station. I'm so proud to see that we are up there. We are ready to welcome the world. Not the old dotted, breakdown, dilapidated station where we had under the past government. This government is doing a great job. And instead of we go on different radio station, people, we petition, go on different radio station and try to pull down the government and try to say all evil and manner of things. We got to look, we got to look at what the government, what the Prime Minister is doing for St. Kitts. It's just Sunday in church. He announced that he's going to pay $1,000 again for those people who work in the hotel industry, the tourism industry, who is not working. He's going to start to pay that $1,000 again. And just the $500 Patrice, I want to know if people have heart when they go in a mountain to take off the pop money, the $500. This is a thing we never before we get no $500 from the people in St. Kitts. Never get no money from no government before, neither PAM nor Labour before. This man is trying his best. And when somebody is trying their best to look to after people, man, come on, people, you have to give gratitude to this man, because gratitude is a must. And I used to hear my grandmother saying, on growth fillness, worse than witchcraft. But I just want the whole world to know. Dr. Timothy Harris not studying the nice and he ignoring the nice. He just focusing on doing the good for St. Kitts and Nevis. That is his main focus. He focusing on doing the good for St. Kitts and Nevis. But Pentagon come. And one of these days, the same Dr. Harris, they're going to well want him. Pentagon come. And I just want to say for the new year, and want to renew my covenant. If you all don't like my Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris, pass me straight. Because if I don't like a man who is doing good, you can't like me. So when I don't like my Prime Minister, pass me straight. If I know where you be, pass me straight. And I'm proud, Patrice, to be a PLP, a People's Labour Party. My color is orange. I'm not going to change my color for the world again. I'm sticking with orange. I'm proud orange. Patrice, you get home safe and you have a blessed night. And you too, the step up a good man are ordered by the Lord. And indeed you are a good man. And continue doing the work that you're doing. And you will get your reward. Have a blessed night, Patrice.
Have a blessed night, my dear family. I like how you renewed your covenants for the whole world to hear. At 18 before 10 o'clock, I go back to the lines. Call your line.
Patches, again. Patches, nothing wrong in opposition. Opposition is there to look at the fears, at the government, and monitor things when they see it going wrong. But Patches, this opposition they got in this country, this Labour Party opposition, is nothing but deceitfulness, lies, dangerous to the country, and everything. They was there before. And the family that do all kind of things and say all kind of things. But you know, here none of them are come and say and bring him down and say nothing. When I listen to Dr. Joe, who say he's the leader now for the Labour Party, and the doctor, and so love the people. He say he love the people. I believe Dr. Joe, since he said love the people, and make us study medicine and doctor, he was supposed to stick to his profession, that he can look for people that can love the people. But everybody knows what they want to get leadership for, and get into politics for them. You understand? If he was to love the people, I believe that he will be there, trying to help the people, especially so much disease now coming up in this world, kind of plague, coming up sickness, this COVID now, different variant coming in. You understand? He should be one out there on the battlefield, up the hospital, helping the people. He said he's a love. But Patrick, I want to tell Dr. Joe, right? Just where he be, he gonna stay. Because even some people who support him tell him that they're backing Dr. Joe for a politician or for a leader in a country. They're backing Dr. Joe for be a doctor and lay still in the field. You understand? If you love the people, you so gratefully love the people and cares about the people, and you successfully go out and study to be a doctor and come back and so good, and the people proud you be so good. You patient them, talking so nice about you. You stick to your patient them. But what I see about Dr. Joe, he going to be the next Dr. Douglas. If the people them take a chance to put him in government. Because I find him arrogant. I find him arrogant patches. And all those to the panic factory, let my Prime Minister alone. Thank God for Dr. Harris. Thank God for Team Unity. The man is a God-sent man. I was a Palm Army years. You understand? And I see the potential in this man. Or when he was with Labour. Because Patrick tell you how the concern. When he was in the government with Labour with me, animal and plaguing, dying by the germs, the dermatitis. And Dr. Harris, come. In the mountain and assist me with the doctors then. So let the Dr. Harris alone, the man got the heart. The man love poor people. The man don't turn back on the people them. Tell anyone in there that he don't turn back on the people them. The man love the people. So Pam and whosoever want to tell them to bring Dr. Harris. Listen now. We 98% literate, they say, we say. And I do not believe the people of this federation are thinking that Nevis is going to allow that. But again, I tell them, so good. You have a wonderful night. May God bless the federation. And people are stick by the protocol. The COVID is still deadly. I was listening to you this afternoon. And I hear a going on country locking back down then. All right then, Patches.
Get well, my brother. Dr. Drew, standing in front of government headquarters with your placard is meaningless, reads this email. If you really want to protest, do something tangible, similar to the young vendor in Tunisia in the Middle East. He poured gasoline over himself and burned himself to death, which set off the Arab Spring protests in the Middle East that brought stupendous political changes in the system of governance. That was a protest, Dr. Drew. If you are really serious, do likewise, for there is no way you can have your cake and eat it. You're just wasting precious time, reads that email. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your line.
Yeah, Patches. Patches, good night.
Good night, Job Done. Happy New Year.
Man, same to you. I want to hear up Ivan. Ivan, man, a brilliant contribution. Because we have some people trying to fight on Timothy, you know. And these people, they don't understand the corruption. We know about the corruption where they have done down Port Zante. Man, I said they're going to print T-shirt. I hope they print T-shirt in Love Valley. It the $100 and something million. You understand? Let sleeping dog lie. What's wrong with you? Be aware yourself, let them run the country. Patches, I want to touch something very seriously. The boating, the dolphin down in Port Zante. Man, come on. The master, the port master. Man, report to these people when the walkers, the line walkers, them tell you about the condition of these dolphins. When they look at these things and a fellow camel, Patches, I can't believe. It looks like the one another disaster down there like Tone and Mackie. These things are supposed to move and swiftly. The manager, not the joker, just the manager. He don't know about the port. But the Harvey and them supposed to take these things very serious. Now you can't be sending these and to tie up these ships with lines patches. Remember these cruise ships now step up, you know. The lines going wire patches, they're much heavier. And these men gonna be pulling in out of 8 to 10 lines. Just pull them heavy. And you're gonna be paying them $30, and when they go and work a holiday time, no money. They just man, these things is wrong. Tell the people them the time and a half and the overtime. That's how they work. You know the work used to be. Don't treat the people like that. And arrested Harvey and the port master. Because all of them who talk to patches, selling Hanley was there, these things never used to happen. And it's wrong. Because they must remember we had a serious disaster down there. All because man didn't pay attention to the work. And man lost their life. It's very serious. That's it, these things bother me, you know. You know me and man around these things years, you know. And I know what's going on. And when they come and bawling to me about how these men treating them, taking the reports, making them to feel like they're carrying it up to the office of the port, not reaching up there, it's wrong. The people are leaving for a demonstration, you know, and I will be there. Because you look to me like it's a sabotage. You look like they're trying to sabotage the government, and I'm calling on the Prime Minister to take these things very serious. You see what happened this morning with these locals? Me and culture especially, been talking about these things all the time. Women come up to me talking about their abuse as supervisors. And these things is wrong. And I'm asking all the ministers them to check the ministry. And when these things happening with supervisors trying to force sex and the female worker, deal with it very seriously. Deal with it. It was a big thing in the last administration, and it's still happening. Mr. Prime Minister, I know you're listening, Jam, now, you know. Man, please, you know. Me, please. In these kind of behaviors. From senior public workers. Man, please with it. I am get to qualify your law and run through the government work. It's very serious. It sounds so bad. I'm looking for that from Talcum Beach long time, you know. I'm looking for it a very long time, Patches. You can't take advantage of workers like that. Come on. You put there to do a job, make the government and make your ministry and your minister who you're working for look good. Don't abuse workers.
Okay.
And it's happening big time at the port. Big time at the port. Because you got some old boys gone up there. You should fight against you, Ian Patches. And now they get the position, they're not ass from the elbow. Now they get the position, they're not ass from the elbow. You and Sidney Osborne and Kenneth Ranger won the port. Won the port so good. Over the years when I was a worker over there. You could imagine workers work so hard. And then at Christmas you are giving them $50. Me never get that on the Kennedy Simmons set up the port. And the Calbridge. And Sidney Osborne and you Patches. $50 at the port for Christmas. Now come on, Damien Hapsy, where your conscience? Where your millions them by your blind? Have a good night, Patches. I will be back.
Have a good night, my brother. Always assertive to the point. I want to concur with Mrs. Henry with this email that there's no need for Grant to resign. I'm hearing certain hypocritical voices on the radio that's finding it convenient now talking about resignation when their party was in power and breaking all the rules of the Constitution and the laws of the land. They were silent as a church mouse. And I want to say to Miss Willer, if it's only now, you know, we've been looking like jokers. How were we looking during Douglas's reign? Reads this email. This other email reads, Mr. Grant, do not make the mistake and fall into the trap that your Labour political enemies have orchestrated against you. They have already charged, tried, and found you guilty and sentenced you to resignation in their kangaroo court. The enemies of Team Unity and the Prime Minister and the propaganda station enumerating, they say the mistakes the government has made and Grant cause not only for Grant but for the entire government must resign. How laughable. I want to ask them that when the US revoked Douglas's and Sam Condon's visa, banning them from entering the USA because of numerous wrongdoings while in office, did any of them resign? I mean, the court expelled Douglas from Parliament. What was more egregious than in comparison to what Grant alleged to have done? Dwyer, Drew, McMahon, and the rest armchair critics of government must fail. Read this email. I want to thank you for holding as we take these final calls tonight. Caller, you're live.
I am so glad that when I went to school at a very early age, I have learned to define the meaning of words, okay? English is a funny language, but not for me. Now, Patches, let me say something here. What start wrong, got to end wrong. Don't mind that up the panic factory. When they talk, all of us here who calling tonight, we are here to fight back. Because the panic factory started on other people's blood, sweat, and money. That's why you're allowing people to come up, they come abuse the country, abuse the Prime Minister and the government, and try to see how much damage they could do to the government. He can't even take a stock meat and make a slipping out and catch a lizard, but he get more money than who work in the cane. And he know nothing about cane. So don't expect anything better from them. Dr. Joe, cool out. You went to study medicine. Practice that. Politics ain't for you. You're too ignorant for that. You worse than Dr. Douglas, who you talk about, you ain't want him there. All of you coming attacking the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is doing so good. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't doing nothing bad. Go up Gatwick. Go find out who got money up there and they can't go for it. When I come criticizing the government and the Prime Minister and Miss Henry and everybody, are you cool out, man? Are you can't win? Are you can't win? God is who put the Prime Minister and the government there. And who God bless, not a man cause passage time short. But you need to have a program. Let me go with the Tololo Red Club. Let me deal with he. Because he believes he's a saint. But he think he can get away, he can't get away because I know a lot of things about the Tololo. Patches, have a good night. Time short.
Have a good night as well. Patches, encourage callers to call in and give lots of ideas to help move the country. Shopping centers, shopping malls, these type of business create lots of jobs. Those small stores can only employ 1 or 2 persons, but shopping centers will employ lots of people. So ask callers to call in and say things that will help create jobs. Read this email. That's my final email tonight. Let's take my final call tonight. Caller, thank you for holding. Caller, thank you for holding. Yes, caller? Yes, caller? You're live.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Yes.
Sounds like Alice in Wonderland.
And the phone so long I can't get in. Do not in the queue and not subscribe to voicemail. The lines them cannot fix. Mr. Liburd, what I called to say, right? The lady was calling in about the port. It's heartbreaking. Last year and this year again, nobody tall looking into nothing. It's not fair. Mr. Liburd, I used to go away, but that is that time. When I see what I put on the boat, that I was Christmas, see how long? Sometimes I had 3 or 4 barrels. And when I come up, I get all my barrel open in front of me. So why they can't bring back dollar? It's not fair. Every week and every time, this woman coming in or whoever talking about barrel, and nobody up the port just come to explain why they're doing it. And the next thing, with all the people them who call about the Prime Minister, they're going to leave him as the best Prime Minister we ever have. See you, because I have more to say, but things to say me the last.
Okay, Alice, I didn't say yes, but I'll take a few more calls before I wrap. Let's take this call. Call your line.
That is, when man building Timothy and harassing Timothy, when Simmons built the Port Zante, we went into First Caribbean Bank, for $49 million to reclaim the land. No Indians don't be operating, put no money into Port Zante, and they make a wash of money. All because the former Prime Minister, worthlessness, with the lack of money he had with passport, this country could have put up all them buildings down there. And all them rental goes in Richardgery for children and born to come to Liwafa. But because the worthless, we can teach them the St. Martin to bring them into Sinkits. All of them, there's a set of vagabonds. The Indians them now checking Ayo in my presence. Checking Ayo in the worthlessness. Look at what's going on down there. I want to say, well, right, he don't be down there, but he knows because he's hearing. And when they see them, they don't have the Indians when they're talking because they like talking. They like talk, and when they talk in serious business, they try to talk the language. They want a ban petition know what they're saying. They want a petition division know what they're saying. So they talk the language, the Hindu. That is, all them buildings down there, Washington Archibald warned the wicked, dirty-ass boy them will love us. To put up these buildings, you get idea for money. We could live off of these rents down there. Instead of that, they were busy looking after themselves. But Thomas Williams outsmart him because they feel they're smart. And when you're smart, you got man smarter than you. Patches, what's going on up the port? It coming from the port end. Who is charging these containers troubling the poor people cargo? I don't want it, but they don't mind walking up. To go away with that kind of thing, you give him bad name. But jam down them is too small. It's too small for them to listen. I warning the Prime Minister look, to go away with it. Because when you got up there, you ain't got custom officer like Terry Adams, them serious people who will lock up these people. It's terrible for politicians to go in abroad and walk into hard selling back things for poor people and the things they're missing. It's terrible, Patches. You walk around the system, I walk around the system. I know how easy it is for a man to walk in container, go by there and just take up cargo and just come out, say they go in that room. When you look at the people in cargo, are you finished away with it? That's so good. I didn't country a bad name. Get away with it. And the Prime Minister has to listen. He has to listen. Because 6 million Frenchmen can't be wrong. Have a good night.
Good night, my brother. I'll perhaps take my final call for the night. Caller, can you use 30 seconds?
Thank you, Patches. I don't know what the topic is, but I heard someone mention about the port. You know who's speaking. Listen, today I went to claim my shipment from the port. And I used to hear rumors that they are searching, inspecting your stuff without your present. Well, I do experience that today. And it is a bad thing they are doing. I feel, and I think it is wrong for them to examine people's shipment without their present because they are going to incriminate themselves. And as of tomorrow, I'll be making a case because they damaged some stuff in repacking. And their claim, I probably think, will be that they didn't see anything damaged and they put them back in as they see them. But they don't realize when people pack their stuff, it takes time and common sense to pack their stuff. Now, I could understand the need to speed up the process so that things could be inspected while the customer is how shall I say? When the stuff arrives, they already have them in advance, ready. But it could be a lash.
Amount of time, so make it brief.
So I just want to say they have to stop and change the policy or the protocol to examine packages without the presence of the customer who are making the claim, because it could be a liability against them. I experienced that today. I mean, I think they got to change that ideology and examine whatever in front of the customer, because tomorrow is going to be a challenge, it's going to be a fight, and that was uncalled for. I hope they have the document that everything was intact when they placed them back, but they did not pack them back good. I have two damaged televisions today. So I just want to put it out there. The rules that they have to change it back. Have the customer there to see what they're doing.
Okay.
So that's about it.
Thanks for your input, my dear brother. And that's the way we're going to end it in terms of the calls tonight. Duty-free St. Kitts Port is the best way to go. Read this email. St. Martin is a duty-free port. When you get your package in St. Martin, you get your package sealed as was sent to you. Read this email. My Straight Talk family, my time is, and I've got to run. As I reflect on tonight's conversation, remember tonight, or today in fact, is Martin Luther King Jr.'s day, as celebrated each third Monday in January of each year in the USA. Martin Luther King was born on the 15th of January in 1929. And I played excerpts from his last speech. It was fatally shot on April the 4th, 1968, when Martin Luther King had this to say.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned with that now. I just want to do God's will. And He allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we are to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
And Martin Luther King implored us as a people to stay together and maintain unity. The promised land he envisioned was where you did not have to march for your dignity. You did not have to sing for your freedom. It was a land where all of God's children would stand as equals. And there was economic justice for all. Tonight, I chose to discuss that particular issue because when I thought about Pan-Africanism, my mind reflected on the promotional option rather of a political union amongst the people, indigenous people of African descent, yes, the indigenous inhabitants of Africa. But I thought it would be prudent because based on the belief that unity is vital to economic, social, and political progress and aims to unify and uplift the people of African descent, we thought that charity begins at home. As someone said last time, we said, dance a yard before we dance abroad. And that old saying spoke to putting the focus first on those who are closest to us. Then we can go out and help others. Charity, caritas, as it says in Latin, emphasize that we should help others to make our society a better place in which to live. So, family, we have to ensure that we be cautious. Be cautious because there are some people who just want to portray your in a negative or bad light. And they do so through the medium of spreading lies with the ultimate goal of grabbing headlines. But we here, yes, on Straight Talk, we zealously protect freedom of expression. And I was happy today when the ordinary people went out, the ordinary workers went out and demonstrated the fundamental protection of their rights of association. I had to say to my friend who called today that democracy and freedom of speech is alive in my country, St. Kitts and Nevis.
This is Mr. Nisbet country and this is all of us country. We are calling on the Prime Minister to go on my knees this morning. I need you. I want you. I need you. I need you. You. And the minister will be for us. We do need you. We need you.
And yes, some people are using social media because they believe their facts. They promote their own facts. But the truth is, right is right. And what is said is either right or wrong. What is done is right or wrong. And as my brother intimated tonight, no one can do better than unity. Unity did not come from a party, it came from the people. So let's call right right and not call wrong right and right wrong. Let us come together in the best interest of our country. My Straight Talk family, yes, the Westminster system rooted in division. So we expect nothing less from the politician, the opposition, I should say. We will call a spade a spade. We will promote social and economic. We in St. Kitts, we are in a good place under a good leader. Let us unite as one. COVID-19 has divided us, but we must be honest. And being honest is about making sure the people they communicate with have the information they need to make good decisions, to take the right way to correct them. My Straight Talk family, my time is done and I gotta run. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. And as always, I want to thank you, the many callers. I understand couldn't get in. This lady asked about the telephone system, but we need to sort it out sooner rather than later. I want to thank all those on social media, Facebook, YouTube. I want to thank those on ZIZ Radio. Some of you just listen. You are the ones, all of you, the emailers, those who just listen. You are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. Straight Talk would not be possible without Albert Bradley in the hot seat at the controls, without Beverly Wilkerson in the back room, and John James. They too make Straight Talk. So I say thank you, big thank you to all. Until we connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. Remember, our mantra for 2020 is to talk the truth. Whoever gets offended, don't be afraid. Talk the truth. Remember, whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you to the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
Awake in the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest